Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the BU community. My name is Yogesh Kapoor, the founder of the BU community. Just put in the chat where you're from and who invited you today. And while we wait for all of you, I just want to go over a little bit of the Zoom etiquette. So please keep your cameras on at all times unless you're eating, drinking, operating machinery, exercising, or driving, or doing anything that would distract the audience. Please keep your commenting to a positive. Any negative commenting and you will be removed from the Zoom room. Also, please make sure your commenting is related to the speaker and the topic of today. Now, for those of you that are new and don't know what BU community is, let me just explain. So the vision of the BU community is to become the largest personal development community in the world. And the mission is for every member of this club to be living the best versions of their lives, whether it is spiritually, physically, mentally, or financially. And today, our guest speaker is the wonderful Meetu Singh. Meetu is a gifted healer. She offers her work as an energy healer, spiritual life coach, sound therapist, and spiritual teacher. As an intuitive and empath, she naturally connects with people and brings them ease and solace with her vibrant, lovely energy. She facilitates empowering workshops around Dubai and works with women in healing through life's traumas, deep core wounds, and emotional distress arising through depression, anxiety disorders, and relationship issues. She is a certified and trained in various modern energy healing modalities such as Reiki, reconnective healing, sound healing, shamanism, hypnotherapy, past life regressions, color, light, vibration. She offers her work in UAE. Just give me a second. I can hear someone. Sorry about that. She offers her work in UAE and internationally through private healing sessions, workshops, certified courses, and retreats. She brings hope to those in utmost despair, and her mission is to spread love and light wherever she goes. She truly believes in the power of love and that love heals. And her topic today will be masculine and feminine energy. Let's give her some love in the chat. And Meetu, the stage is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Yogesh. That was a long introduction to a small me. Thank you very much. I'm truly honored to be here and to be part of your community. And hopefully I'll be able to share some wisdom with all of you and answer some questions and hopefully bring some healing. And like you introduced me, I do believe that if it's a moment or if it's an hour or it's a day, I would like to bring love and hope and light to people. So let's hope and have that intention that that's what will come through this call for all of us. Thank you.
So go ahead, Meetu. It's all yours.
So you just want me to start, or would you like to ask me questions? Or I thought
just go ahead, just start.
Okay, cool. So all right, so maybe it would be useful to share a little bit about how I got here and why should you all beautiful people listen to me. Just because I have green and purple background doesn't make sense, right? There should be some credibility. So yeah, all in all, I'm a colorful person. I'm 43 years young and I've been around the world. I've been very, very blessed, very lucky in many ways. I've been a world traveler for 12 years. I was a flight attendant for 12 years. My journey of life is full of trauma, pain, suffering, lack, struggle, all of those wonderful things that none of us want. But as souls, we choose them for our journey, for our growth, and for whatever reason our soul is here, is hidden in those deep, painful experiences, really, because we are on the planet of duality. This is Earth and Earth. Welcome to, and I don't know where I heard this, but I truly believe that Earth is the Harvard of the universe. So we all come here to graduate. So some of us are super courageous souls. So we choose some really crazy maniac life stories and soul journeys. And then we come here, of course, we forget. So we're like, why the hell did I choose this? Why the hell am I here? What's going on? And this is my story. It's like, God, me too. You could do something better. You could have chosen something easier. But no, because I'm a powerful, courageous soul, I chose the journey of darkness and of pain and suffering so that I could alchemize it into light, so that I know experientially in my body, in my being, in my soul, in my wisdom, the value of life itself, the value of everything that I've gone through. So whatever I will share today and whatever I share in my work in general as well is not just coming from the knowledge that I've acquired over the years, because I've been on a spiritual journey for 11 years now since my initial first awakening, and I'm certified in over 30 healing modalities. I lost count and I stopped counting after a while, but while I was in the process, my natural healing abilities started to show up. And I was really amazed because they were so surreal. And I was, of course, I had big self-doubt issues. I was like, is that happening? No way, you're crazy, you know, like, and I was in Dubai when actually my spiritual journey. I have an interesting story to say about this. Most people say, oh, I went to India, I traveled to India and I received my awakening. I left India to receive my awakening. So when I was 24, I received India. I left India. And when I landed into Dubai, that's really where my true spiritual awakening started in 2011. And since then, it has been crazy roller coaster, painful, many dark nights of the soul in stages over these 11 years, but I couldn't be more grateful. I couldn't be more aligned with my soul where I am today. I think right now, I believe I'm the best version of myself because it has taken so much work, and it really humbles me to be in this space, in this mind, body, heart space. And I think the greatest gift, the greatest gift happened for me was my natural unfolding of my journey in 2016 when I went through an 2015, my dark night of the soul for 9 months started. And by the time I came out of it, this new me, which I never thought would have been a healer, emerged. So it's a very long story if I start to write, I think, or if I talk about every story, or at least some important ones, will be here for a few days. So let's try to shorten it and bring you the best that most of you need to hear today. And I truly pray that it will bring some wisdom, light. So that's just a little bit about me. Now I do offer this work. Why I chose feminine masculine energies today is because it's the call of the hour. I truly believe that we are going through such a turmoil in the world right now. I mean, you know, needless to say, but what has really come to the surface is why? Because we have just transitioned. Now, I don't know all of you here how spiritually aware you are, or maybe I'm talking something and it's just like, you know, who is this crazy girl? Why is she saying all of this? But I hope that it makes some sense. So I would invite you to keep an open heart, open mind. And if you have any questions, please, I love questions. So I would love to answer them for you. But my journey is based on this understanding that we are spiritual beings living in this bodysuit, and we came here for an experience. So whoever is going to listen to this will somehow, at least if you're not really into spirituality or awakened, at least you will be inviting yourself into understanding the spiritual aspect of who we really are. So you might be starting your spiritual journey. And this is very, very, very powerful because it's happening all around the globe. The negativity, the darkness, the fear that 2020 brought us has a huge alchemical process. It is really bringing us into light. It's also the time when the planet itself is moving from the dark age of Piscean into the Aquarian age. An Aquarian age, which is going to last for at least 2000 years now, we have officially stepped into it in this year, 2022. It has been a slow process coming about for the last several years, but this year the foundation, in a way to say, has been anchored in on the planet. So many of you might be going through a lot of symptoms that you don't understand. For example, okay, these are called ascension symptoms. So there's a lot of photonic light coming in on the planet right now. There's so much solar flares. There's just bombardment of energies coming on the planet, and most people are just sleepwalking through, non-aware. So if your life is going through these roller coaster rides, you're exhausted, you're tired, you're fatigued. One day you're okay, the next day you don't know, you're moody or emotional, stuff comes up that you didn't even think about, traumas come up, childhood memories come up. All of this is happening if you can't sleep. These are some ascension symptoms that are happening to most people. Some of them are aware. If you're a little bit sensitive, if you say, I know the S of spirituality, then you must be experiencing all of this in some or other level. If you're a super sensitive person like me, I'm an empath, which is again a term that most people are completely unaware of, and I was unaware of it completely until the last 7 years ago. 7 years ago, I discovered that I'm an empath. I understood. And when I understood, my whole life started to make so much sense, because I feel energies, but feeling is one thing. I feel it in my body, and my energy system is made in such a way, and this is not to put myself somewhere there, but it's an advanced energy system which starts to transmute anything lower frequency. So this is how I actually do my healing work for most part, other than all those trainings. So when somebody comes to me, or even it has moved to a point where I receive a call and I can sense the energy, I can read all the emotions that they are going through or is on the surface. All of this started to happen. So just to I hope you all don't mind, I'm just taking a little bit time to give you like an overview of what's happening and how I come into the picture. So since Aquarian age is a feminine era, we are moving into, the planet is experiencing feminine energy. So this is why we are now moving into the age of Aquarius, which is the age of the feminine. Patriarchy has ruled our planet for the last several thousand years. At least 2,000 to 5,000 years, it has been all patriarchy. Patriarchy meaning the masculine energy. Now, if we go back to 5,000 or 6,000 years ago, let's talk about the traditional, some of the traditional cultures like Egyptian, like ancient cultures like India. There are, or Greece, for example, all these cultures had goddesses. And goddess energy was the predominant energy that was ruling the planet or was ruling the people. And that was the energy we were working with, right? So women were considered goddesses, and that's the respect, love, attention, and leadership that was prevalent. But what happened? Some wise guy woke up and said, hey, woman, I need to control you. You sit there, huh? So this wise guy that I'm not very happy with, he said, Yalla. Oh, Yalla, by the way, just means let's go. He said, Yalla, you know what? Let's just put these lower beings under us. And they formed these rules and regulations. They shamed women. They ripped them off their powers. Like women were such gifted beings. Women were everything to do with creation, from herbalism, medicine. We had all of these medicines that women brought from within them, and we lived in coherence with nature. We lived in harmony. And today we've gone so far away from everything natural, and we are the only species which is doing that, and we are literally destroying the planet, and we are destroying ourselves. So because of all of these reasons, it is now crucial for us to understand what is feminine energy, what is masculine energy, how do we come about into an aligned. So when I say masculine energy and feminine energy, it is our inner feminine and inner masculine. It's not like, oh, the pretty girl. I always give myself compliments, by the way, you will notice. Because if you can give yourself compliments, you don't need it from anyone else, right? And my story was, I believed I was the ugliest girl on the planet until I was about 25, 26. So well, this technique really helped me to come into into my own goddess and my own feminine embodiment, and discovering the beauty, the femininity within me. So it's kind of my habit. So let's go back again to the masculine and feminine. So let's talk about how this imbalance happened, what really is masculine feminine energy, what is wounded masculine energy, and what is wounded feminine energy. I'm going to take you all through a little exercise as well. So I would ask you to keep a paper and pen handy, and then hopefully do a little meditation, maybe not bore you for too long, but take you through a little meditation to figure out within yourself where exactly are you at, and and how to harmonize and balance them within you. I actually have a retreat coming up in about less than 15 days in Zanzibar, where I am taking up all of these topics in a feminine embodiment retreat. So sorry, men, but women, if you are somewhere around and you want to hop on, maybe last minute, you can join still. I have 3 days before it's closing, and then I'm hoping to put all of this together. I've taught this before. Somebody has written something and I'm unable to read that. I am teaching everything that I'm going to share in shorter version in balancing masculine feminine energy. So there is so much to cover in this topic, so I have to make it little bite size for you all. So what really is masculine energy and what really is feminine energy? The question is to you all. If you want to write in the comments, Yogesh is gonna maybe read those comments for me. So while you do that, I'm gonna continue to speak. So when I say masculine energy, it doesn't mean man, and when I say feminine energy, it doesn't mean woman. Okay, we have both these energies within us, masculine and feminine energies, man and women, we have both of those within us. Okay, traditionally, again, yes, somebody wrote that. Traditionally, if we look at the ancient Indian tradition, for example, Shiva and Shakti, you might have heard of these goddess archetype. They actually represent, so Shiva represents universal masculine energy, and Shakti, which is his wife, which is his partner, represents the feminine energy. So in Hindi, in the Hindu tradition, we consider the masculine and the feminine to be flowing together. And when the Shiva and Shakti merges, enlightenment happens. Okay, and that possibility is within us as well. There's an energy coil that sits within the tailbone, that's called Kundalini. So when this Kundalini energy rises, which is feminine, and we have our crown chakra energy, which is masculine, when the energy rises through practices, and this is what that lotus, you might have seen this depiction somewhere, 1,000 petal lotus represents the enlightenment, which comes from the merging of the feminine masculine energy within us, in each one of us. So masculine energy basically, is mind. Okay, masculine energy is mind-based, it's electric. Okay, masculine energy is everything to do with thoughts. Okay, feminine energy, on the other hand, is experienced in the heart. Okay, it's in the body, it's magnetic. Okay, and it's not a surprise that we human beings have an electromagnetic field, and that is nothing but a amalgamation of the feminine and masculine energy that flows through within us. The energy flows through all our chakras, and it flows in our auric body. So I should say, if you guys have a paper and pen and there's something that you want to take notes of, please feel free, because I'll be sharing a lot of nuggets, I think, little nuggets. So the feminine energy is experienced in the heart and the body. And the main element of feminine energy is feelings and emotions. The main element or the component of masculine energy is thoughts. So that's your very first indication. If you are living in your thoughts, in your mind, you are in your masculine energy. Okay, now there are some women on this call, and I want to ask you, how many times are you living in your mind? How many times you're operating in your mind? And there are some men on the call, I'm going to ask you the opposite question. How much do you live from your feelings? Because I'm pretty sure, because this is how energy work works, there are men on this call who are much more connected to their feminine energy. And it's not a bad thing. It's a great thing, because that's what we need to harmonize. So if you're already connected with your feminine energy, the good job is done. The bigger part is done. You need to embody the masculine energy. So what is happening in Grace has said, I'm so in my mind. And I'm going to tell you guys, this is the story that I hear from every single woman client of mine. I live in a very competitive Dubai city where women are so successful, so on the go. There's just so much going on. They have all the money on the planet. They have everything. But they're still looking for love. They're still looking for connection. They're still looking for this deep desire for connection, because that is the feminine energy. They're disconnected from their bodies. They're disconnected from their hearts. So there's this big imbalance that's going on. John says he's grateful. Yes. So you see, it's not random. It's not random that men just claimed, at least I read 2 comments, and I know Yogesh has mentioned this to me. So you are connected naturally with your feminine energy, and that's why you're here. So women, so feminine energy is direct connection to spirituality, by the way. This is the reason why most women are so connected and open to spirituality. Men, on the other hand, are more connected to material. So that's the other opposite characteristic, because men, so I'm just going to go over a few qualities and you will see how opposite it is. I made some notes, even though I remember everything, just to have a good flow. So masculine energy is about thoughts, right? It's in the logic. It's about structure. It's about creating foundation. It's about roots. So if we take the example of a tree, for example, the trunk, the roots, that's the masculine energy. The branches, that's the masculine energy. So masculine energy is stand strong, presence, power, determination, yeah, ambition. So the function, the main protection, security, safety, these are the main characteristics of the masculine energy. So it grounds that tree down so that there is a strong, erect foundation where then what comes? The leaves show up, the flowers show up, and then the fruits happen. Then the tree starts to come, humble down, right? The branches make it heavy. So unless and until we have this foundation of the masculine, the feminine cannot thrive. Okay, this is the basic principle that we have gone so far away from, to the point that the imbalance that I see now is disturbing. Because now what has happened over time, and I'm going to go over that in a moment, what has happened over time is that in old times, men were very masculine, right? And it was not the aligned masculine, it was over masculinity. So what did that lead to? Wars, killings, bloodshed, controlling of women, controlling of everything, right? So that energy, when the masculine energy is too much, and I'm going to cover, that's the wounded quality of the masculine. It's control, it's manipulation, it's too much structure, it's wars, it's all of those things, right? So that's what happened. Now in the 60s, what happened is finally women gained some power. The feminine movement started earlier when the Industrial Revolution started. All of this gave, and women got the power to vote. Women finally started to come out of the shell, right? So because of that, because of women were suppressed for so long, when finally they received some power, they took it to the extreme. So I work with CEOs and very high level professionals. These women, they are CEOs in their office. They come home, they are still CEOs. They haven't taken that outfit off. So the poor man who's in the house, he doesn't know what to do anymore. And I say this to all my female clients. I say, okay, wonderful. So you have the money, you have the car, you have the house, you got the kids, you got everything. So what is the poor man gonna do? You got it all, right? So the polarity has ended. What was the traditional role of a man and a woman coming together? The man was providing, he was the provider, he was the protector. The woman could flourish in her feminine energy. She could express, she could dance. Have you noticed that on the entire planet, if you look at traditionally, every culture has a dance. Every culture traditionally has some or other form of dance, and even traditional drumming and all those kind of music. What's that? That's the creative feminine energy. This is how we connected with the feminine energy. No, Cheeky, sorry, he was out and he came in. This is my little cat. You will just have to excuse me for a moment so I can close the door. Sorry about that, guys. Cheeky, later, please. Later. Sorry about that, because he's gonna keep meowing otherwise. Okay, so every culture had this dance, right, which was the natural flow of the feminine energy. Some religions, mind you, dancing is actually haram in certain religions. Why? Dancing music was banned. Why? Because it circulates your feminine energy. It keeps you in balance. So exactly. So what happened was, women and feminine energy is flow. It's moving, it's dancing, it's flowing. All right. So when women went to office and they sat in the box and they dressed in their suits and they packed everything in their pants and no movement, and you have to follow this structure, the feminine energy, which is flow, which is receptivity, stopped flowing. And this is why it's not just normal or an incident or an accident that 90 to 80, I read somewhere, Grace, I love to dance too, about 80 to 90% of women on the planet have one or other form of ailment in their reproductive organ. It could be something as simple as a painful period, which is considered to be normal. I'm here to tell you it's not. Or other forms of issues in the ovaries and wombs and reproductive organs. Every single woman. Right? What is happening? Because we are disconnected now from the natural flow of our energy. So what is happening is the feminine energy gets stagnated and manifests in a disease. It's not normal. And that in itself is a full course on feminine embodiment and how to embody the feminine. But let's move on. So some more qualities of the masculine is leadership, guidance, direction, ambition. Right? Now let's look at what are the qualities of the feminine. Would some of you like to comment and share with me what's your understanding of the feminine energy?
Is it like being a nurturer, like a mother? Like I'm a mother of 2 kids. So when I'm with my children, I feel I'm in like total feminine energy there.
Absolutely.
And
yes.
Dancing, of course, I'm totally into that. So I feel it there, yes. But more of a feminine, masculine is very little. Maybe when I'm at work, I feel a bit masculine, but more of a feminine, yeah.
Very true. So the feminine energy is heart-centered energy. So it's love, unconditional love, nurture, kindness, compassion. These are actually feminine energies. right? Intuition, flow, receptivity, meaning receiving. Okay, another one that I missed on the masculine part is giving. Giving is actually a masculine trait. It's actually a masculine quality. And I hear a lot, and I've seen myself when I was younger, and I was more when I was a flight attendant, actually, I used to have a lot of these conversations, and I would always hear from women, you cannot trust men. You cannot, there are no good guys in Dubai. There are no good guys here. There are no good guys there. And men, and I think it's true, you know, to a certain degree, that men are not committal these days, that they are flaky, that they are not in there, they don't want to give. Woman has everything. So this is causing such, you know, for example, I'm gonna give you, I'm old school, I'm gonna give you this example. This whole culture of, how did they say, go Dutch? Like, I'm sorry, what the hell? Excuse me, what? Go Dutch, what? So you invite me on a date and I pay 50% and you pay 50%. What does that even mean? It's just a, you know, I can't fathom this understanding, because if you're a man and if you don't have the power to invite a woman, don't go on a date, because she can buy her dinner and spend her time on her own. Right now, in the modern environment, many women are so hyper independent that they don't want to. You're too young to be old school. Thank you, John. I'll take that compliment like that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, you know, some of the things that we've gone so far away from the traditional, like I said, homeschool, is actually creating a big imbalance. So you go out on a date and you really don't know, what should I do? Should I pay? Should I offer? Should I know? Should I do? Like, if you can't buy a woman, okay, a meal, but you want to take her home and you want to create a home with her, how? This is an imbalance. Again, I am all for, because I earn my own money, I'm all for, you know, next time I pay, or we balance it, or I'm all for that, because we have the financial freedom now, right? But it comes as a respect. And what is happening is the modern wounded masculine is going so far away from that respect. If you don't respect the woman, if you don't see her as the nurturer, the creator, the gift that she is, then that's a huge imbalance. And we're going so far away from that, right? So women is all about receiving, man is all about giving. And I'm gonna, it will sound a bit crude, but I'm just gonna go share this with you all. And so the nature itself, the nature itself is made in such a way that the man gives and the woman receives. And I'm talking about sex. The man gives, the woman receives. It's that simple. Nature has made it that way. In every species, pretty much. That's profound. Think about it for a moment. So we are going far away from the natural nature, because a man's job is to give and a woman's job is to receive. Whichever way you do it, you can't turn that around. Right? So the masculine energy is leadership. The feminine energy is follower. Okay, she's the nurturer, she's the lover, she's all about kindness, she's all about feelings and emotions. And this is why men have a hard time understanding women, because one day we're in an amazing mood, the next day we don't know what's going on. Well, don't blame us, because we have a cycle. And this cycle itself has a natural rhythm to the four weather on our planet. So that's, again, another topic in feminine embodiment, because we women need to understand and get on with that cycle. So these are the masculine and feminine ideals. So I call them the divine feminine masculine energy. You can go on my Instagram. I posted about it as well. The other thing that masculine energy is inner strength, responsibility, direction. These are some other qualities, courage. confidence, discipline. That one is a tough one for me. I'm so in my flow that discipline just comes very, very hard for me. So some more feminine qualities are radiance, glow. So when you see a woman in her power, she will naturally be glowing. Without makeup, with makeup, whatever, it's the inner radiance that shines through her, which will shine through her chakras, which will shine through her words, you know, whatever. When this woman walks in, you know that she's in her feminine alignment. You know, and she may be a CEO, she might not be a CEO, but pregnant woman, somebody is saying. Yes, pregnant women are always glowing. Have you noticed? Right? Because this is the most crucial time. This is the most powerful time of the feminine, when she is fully in her feminine energy. She's so in her feminine energy at this time, because she's in creation. Yeah, the greatest quality of the feminine is creation. So for, you know, in nature everywhere, I love this example, and it just came to me. In every species, including human beings, for that creation to happen, the man goes and hunts, or finds a cave, or creates the nest, or they make it together. And in human beings, the man needs to do the same. But what's going on? Women, I have 5 apartments. Man, I have nothing. Let's jump on. She has everything. So, okay, but it's causing a lot of imbalance. And then men say, men are feeling really lost because of this imbalance, because they have lost the true guidance or mentorship of a healthy masculine. Because if we look at our forefathers, what happened was grandfathers and, you know, fathers were so dominant, were so controlling, where, you know, I come from a culture where my classmates couldn't go out of house on their own. They couldn't. My schoolmates, the girls could not go out of the house. They were escorted. I was very blessed to have my father is my #1 spiritual teacher. And I was very blessed. I was made very independent because of my journey. That's another story. But we have grown in this culture where women were so shadowed, right? And men were over controlling. So in certain cultures, like the women, the wife cannot do anything without the man's permission. Like for me, it just, you know, most of you are perhaps Westerners here, you won't even understand that unless and until you experience that in India or in the Middle East, where I live as well. It's the same. No matter how educated, how capable, there is this thing that they have to take permission from the fathers. Like, you know, Saudi Arabia is an amazing example, and it has opened up so much for women now, but they couldn't travel, they couldn't drive, right? So overly controlling. I mean, you know, to be fair, actually, it started with being overprotective, right? So if we go cave times, the man had to protect the woman because there was a tiger waiting outside. Oh, I'm going to share this story. I love this illustration that came to me, and I always share this. So how did the marriage come together? I always say it like this. So the concept of marriage. So let's go down to the cave times, all right? And there's this very handsome, hunky, you know, caveman, and there's this beautiful, soft, feminine, and we are in the, you know, fire age or something, and they need a place to live, so they find a cave, right? It's winters, there are wild animals, so the man protects the woman creates, he hunts, he brings the food, she prepares the food, she has some babies, she takes care of them. Very clear roles, right? The woman doesn't say, today you stay home, I'm gonna go hunt. No, it doesn't work like that. So what this did was that there is a very clear distinction between feminine and masculine energy. All right. And that creates the term polarity. Polarity simply means attraction. The opposites attract is not just the same. So in your life now, you will start to recognize that if you are a masculine man, you will have a very feminine woman in your life. And this dynamic plays in everything, but in intimate relationships, it's profound. And if you are a woman who's masculine, you will have a very feminine man in your life. Grace agrees with me. Thank you, Grace. So what's going on here? And then women come to me and they're like, oh, you know, I do everything, you know, I come from work and I have to do everything. Even I need to bring my bags, I need to do this. No, actually, I'm going to share an example of a very cute client of mine. She came to me and she was heartbroken and she sent me a message saying, oh, I broke up with one more. She used the word ass plus some asterisks. And I said, okay, I just broke up with another, you know. I was like, okay, come over. So she comes, we do a session, and she tells me her story, and she's telling me, yeah, I made it. I did this for him. I did that for him. He would only see me on weekdays. I never visited him. I was with him for 2 years. He never met me over the weekend, but I didn't want it to bother him. So I prepared the food for him. I did this for him. I take care of you. Like, okay, cool. So what is she doing? She's settling for less and giving him all of this because she doesn't think she's worthy. She's in her masculine energy, so she does everything herself. Sweetheart, you sit here, I'm going to do everything for you. The guy comes and receives. Then she finds out that actually while he was in that relationship with her for 2 years, he was actually living with another woman. So now this girl is baffled. Why is that? Because, and I told her and I explained this whole concept and I said, I assure you that girl is very, very, very feminine and he does everything for her. And I get this question from many women all the time. Oh, this girl, she doesn't do anything and, you know, and the guy gives her everything. Why? And there's another client of mine. She's very, very successful. She makes so much money. And she said this to me. And she was like, you know, why do these, I don't know, she used the word like bimbo or something. And she said, why do these bimbos have the best guys and I'm still single and I don't find a man? And I said, because look, you walk like a guy. You intimidate the guy. You're going on a date, but you organized everything. So how can the man come to you? How can he even feel like a man? So women, your job is to feel you. Your job is to embody you, because we don't need to become the man. We simply need to use all the gifts. God has given us so many qualities. We need to embody those to be in our power. That's already our power. When you are in that power, it's very likely that you will have a man who has to be in his power. And if you attract someone who's not, then he will have to step up. Or you will have to step down. Because this is how frequencies work. This is how vibrations work. So we're always pulling each other. And this is called polarity. So a masculine will attract the feminine, a feminine will attract, and it's inner. So there's a big confusion and people always ask me, yeah, but I'm so feminine. I can give you my example. I mean, now I've spoken for I don't know how many minutes, and you know, the way I look, people always thought I'm so feminine. Like a friend of mine, she also says like, meetu is so feminine, her house. Oh my God, it's like you walked in like a fairy house. That's how feminine I am. But actually, I struggled with my masculine energy because up until I was awake, until I was 33, I think, or 32. Well, I'm naturally very feminine. I'm a feminine soul, but I had to live life and I had to struggle and take care of my family and find my way. I lost my father in a plane crash when I was 18. And I had 4 siblings. So, and I had to take care of my mother. So I took one step after another to find myself. I didn't know to sit back and relax. I didn't know how somebody will do something for me. I make it happen. I put one step after another to be who I am today. So that was so inbuilt in me, but it causes so much stress. It's exhausting. So finally, when I discovered that, oh my God, now I understand that's feminine energy, then I just want to be feminine. I don't want to be in my masculine. So now I actually struggle a little bit, because for business, for work, I need to put structure, I need to have all of these, and I just want to be in my feminine. So when I do healing work, for example, or these kind of creative stuff, this is my work, I'm so in my feminine, I'm so in my flow, right? It comes through me. It's not like I have to sit and plan, and I'm not using my mind, it's just flowing through me. So if you ask me what I said before, I will have no clue, so please don't ask. Like if you ask me what did I say 30 seconds ago, I would have no clue, because I flow, and that's feminine energy. So in a nutshell, this is very, very important for us. And it's not like it's 50-50 that you balance it, that okay, now I'm 50% feminine, 50. No, it's a dance. Like relationship is a dance. Yeah. So one day you need to be in the feminine to take care of the feminine aspects, like Bhavna said, her kids, and she's in the feminine. When she goes back to work, she puts on her suit and she goes into the masculine, and then she comes back. So this dance is constantly working with us. In my work, the days I have to do admin work, writing work, putting my workshop together, all of these courses together, then I schedule the day only to do that. And if the days that I'm doing my healing coaching, all of these sessions, if you tell me, go look at your computer, I'm like, oh, I froze. I don't know. To me, it's that extreme. I hope it's not that extreme for any one of you, but it's a constant dance. So the balancing does not mean that you become one and you stay there, right? So masculine man and feminine woman, we all need to have this. So now I'm going to take you through an exercise. Yogesh, how are we for time? Do you want to say something? I've been talking. I feel like I've been talking nonstop.
No. You're good on time. We still have a good 40 minutes.
Okay, cool. So you see, so this is masculine. Did you see what I just did? Okay, very artfully, it was not my intention, but it's a great example. Very artfully, I assign the masculine to take care of the masculine stuff. Because I'm in my feminine, I need the container to be held. Do you see that? So if I start baffling with the screen, I'll lose my flow. And this is how life is. So the man needs to provide that container so the women can bring their gifts. And this is why it's so important. This concept that I hear now, freeze your eggs. Be a single mom. If I don't find a guy, I'm gonna go, have a baby. I'm sorry. Okay, it works, and I have a lot of respect for, there are some extreme cases where all of this applies, right? But to intentionally go in that direction is going against nature. And the more and more we're going against nature, we're harming us, because every child that takes birth comes from two places, the masculine and the feminine energy. The feminine energy, by the way, is the left side of your body. I forgot to mention that. The right side of the body is the masculine energy embodiment. Like this is where so another thing how you can know, if you have any disease, pain, aches, ailments in the left side of your body, you're out of balance of your feminine energy. Okay, if you have any disease, ailment, anything going on in the right side of your body, then your masculine energy is out of balance and is constricted. Okay, the same goes with the organs in our body. So clearly, if you have a heart chakra block, breakthrough just now, yay! I love breakthroughs. Thank you, John. I love John's comments. Where is he? I can't see him. He was on my screen earlier. So what did I just say? Okay, so the right side of the body. All right. So the right side of the body, I was just checking on you guys if you're paying attention, actually. So it's not me messing up my memory, okay? So the right side of the organs, yes, thank you, Grace, thank you. You see? So some of the organs, for example, every organ stores emotions, okay? I'm going to introduce a little bit of also how emotions and the code of emotions. So, for example, heart is a feminine organ, okay? When you experience sadness, grief, jealousy, okay, betrayal, your heart chakra gets blocked. Now, how many of us have experienced heartbreak or sadness at some point or another, grief? And this is why I have a client who healed her breast cancer, by the way. Okay. All I did was I worked on her chakra and we released the grief that she was going through. That was blocking, and there were few layers of. So every ailment, every disease, I'm here to tell you guys, and I can sit here and talk about till the cows came home of how every disease is simply a manifestation of these imbalances of energy in our body. And this is why I'm so passionate about my work. I'm so passionate about energy work, because I believe every person on the planet, every human on the planet needs to know this simple fact, the simplest truth of being in human existence. Everything is energy and everything is interconnected, everything. So if we are made of energy, then it's, if we are made of flesh, right? So if there's a cut on this flesh, we need some more flesh to heal it, right? So that's why if you get a big cut, the flesh needs to grow. Correct? Simple? It's the same. If we are cut out of fabric from energy, we just need energy to fix it back. That's a breakthrough, isn't it? I just came up with that. I don't think I've said this before in these words. So if we are cut out from this energy, which is all around us, we just need energy to fix us or fix any. So our bodies are made to heal. You don't need to be a healer. And you know what? I would like to say, every human being on the planet is a healer. We all are made that way, but we've gone so far away that now when somebody like me does it, like, oh my God, like she knows. You all know we have that memory in our DNA. Right? But we don't know how to exactly heal thyself. Stephanie says that. I love that. I love that. That's amazing. Even the word healthy is saying heal thyself, you see? But we give our power away to medicine, to, to chemotherapies, to it's a painful story. It really breaks my heart to see people go through these painful experiences because it's an end game. These are marketing, where these people are just making money while our organs are made to heal. So if we balance the energy in our body, in our aura, in our chakras, if we simply understand these things, we can all heal. And healing, yes, I'm going to say that it's a gift. It can be a gift because my soul remembers, right? But it's also a learned art. We can all. And I can say this now because I learned 30 modalities. I dedicated my time, energy, money to study those. And then I said, yeah, but you know what? I'm simply remembering. I'm simply remembering. And we all have that gift. Reiki, for example, is the first level, and you can all learn this and heal yourself just by putting your hands, by channeling the energy which is all around us. Okay, I'm going off topic. So because please excuse me for my passion. I'm predominantly an energy healer, and I would really like to bring that gift to the whole world that's ready to receive, or every human being, who I could touch in terms of understanding, because it's very, very important. Okay, now I'm going to share with you all a little bit about what happens when the energy is wounded, right? So what I shared earlier is the energy of, give me 1 second to pull up this. Okay. So earlier, the qualities that I shared about the masculine and the feminine are the ideal archetype. So when a man or a masculine energy, so again, I'm not saying man because there are women who are predominantly in their masculine energy, and that's okay. Okay, and there are men who are in their feminine energy, and that's okay. Nothing is wrong. Okay, let's understand that nothing is wrong there. But we need to balance and harmonize and learn how to work with it. Yeah, to use our energies in the most optimum way. That's the intention. so that we don't encounter blockages, so that I'm very in my masculine energy. Stephanie says that you're an empath. Yay for empaths. I like to say empaths are the new leaders of the planet, because we're going to run the world with empathy. We're going to run the world with love. And this is why the age of feminine is coming, because women are going to run the planet. And when women run something or do something, we do it with delicacy and love and compassion and beauty and flow and dance. And tell me a man who doesn't like a woman dancing in front of her. Tell me. Is there anyone who's going to say, no, I don't want to see her dance? There's no one. Am I right or not? Correct? Because you see, that's the feminine energy. But yes, John, you must. Okay, I'm not going to distract Barry. So let's go over a little bit of understanding of what if when this energy is out of balance, what happens. Okay, so let's look at the feminine first. Okay, if you are a feminine who is out of balance of your feminine energy. Now, again, all of this is going on because we have gone through wounding as a child. I'm pretty sure I've worked with thousands of people so far, and I have yet to meet a person who has the perfect parenthood. It does not exist. So we all have received mother wound and father wound, as I call them. Okay, and mother wound and father wound is the core of all of this imbalance in the feminine and masculine energy. So when a man and woman come together and create this beautiful baby, I'm going to quickly cover this because it's really, really important. This baby's primary need, okay, from a mother, she's the introduction of feminine energy. So she's the introduction of love, nurture, all of those beautiful qualities that we said. For a boy or a girl, same. Man on the other side is the ideal mentor, guide, right? Example, leader for this kid, to show him the qualities of leadership, stability, strength, power, courage, responsibility, guidance. Do you see? So when the man is missing, or when this man, for whatever reason, is unable to be that father and bring those masculine qualities to this child, the child gets wounded in the masculine energy. Okay. Likewise, if the mother, for whatsoever reason, was unable to give love, affection, kindness, nurture, unconditional love, not just love. Yeah, because love is very expanded, unconditional love for the child. And you'd be amazed, there are many, many, many women who are unable to do that because our parents and generations are coming from their wounding. So most of us haven't received unconditional love from our parents, actually. It has come with a lot of conditioning. If you do this, if you're a good girl, I'm going to give you a candy. Right? If you get good marks in school, okay, you're going to get a good dress. Conditional. So our kids, kids are born so well, and then we start to ruin them. I love how Sadhguru says, do you all know Sadhguru? I love some of his amazing statements. And he says, and I love it because parenthood needs to really be applied, especially in the Eastern cultures. I think West is a little bit different, but in the Eastern cultures, we are ruining our children. Every single day, we're creating, how do you say? A clone of ourselves. So Sadhguru says, look at yourself. Is that an amazing being? Is that an amazing template? Is that an amazing gift? No, then why do you want to create more of that? And I might not have said it in the exact words, but I hope you get the gist. So if I'm not this perfect Barbie, why do I want to create another Barbie? That's my version of it. But all parents are addicted. I'm a doctor, my son is going to be a doctor. Hallelujah. Right? So we're creating replicas of us wounded more. And we are here to break that chain. We're here to break that cycle. And that can only happen when we heal ourselves so that we don't pass it down, to our future generations. And if you've already made kids and you pass them down, please send them for healing to me, okay? I'll do. Are you all listening? Yeah? It's just that was for you, Yogesh, because I know you have kids. I think laughter is the most important thing, right? And learning should always happen with laughter. So let's go over some feminine wounded qualities, right? So now you understood where the feminine masculine wounding comes from, which is from the father and mother. Bless our father and mother. But we got some work to do, dude. So wounded feminine energy, how does it show up? So if you are not fully aligned in your feminine energy, you will be needy. You will operate from victimhood. There are no good guys in the world. Oh, I need this. I need safety from a man. Why is he not ready to get married to me? Why he's not doing this? Neediness. Men run. Men run. The second they feel a needy woman, they run. All right. Women will be controlling, manipulative, very codependent, so they can't function on their own. Over emotional, super dramatic. I'm sure you know some women like that on the planet or in your life who are super drama, super gossip. Everything is an issue, right? Oversensitive, powerless. If women are not empowered in their feminine, they can feel very powerless. Oh yeah, Stephanie says, oh yeah, I like that. Oh yeah. All right, now let me take you over some wounded masculine energy. So I already covered that a little bit. I'm gonna get a sip of water because I'm talking too much. Everything that I'm saying, I have some nice posts that I have made. If anybody would like, I would be happy to share that. And, I can share it with Yogesh. Or you could also reach out to me on Instagram. It's on my Instagram and I can DM it. I have made it in pretty pictures, so it just stays in front of you. So masculine energy when it's out of balance. So I'm sure you know some masculine who are so masculine, right? But they are so controlling, dominant, aggressive, very critical. Wounded feminine, somebody has a question. I'm going to come back to your question when I come to the question. Is that all right, John? Yeah. So aggression, criticism. I'm sure you know, very critical. And if you just visualize a corporate world, men in the corporate competitive world, you will see this archetype very much, right? So very competitive, critical, abusive, unstable, unsupportive, confrontational, avoidance. These are all wounded masculine energies. So there can be some extreme examples where you find a man and he has all egoistic. Thank you very much, Grace. Thank you. Ego is a big one. Egoistic is a big one. And I'm sure we all see these kind of men. I mean, in my corporate world, in my corporate experience, I saw a lot. And yeah, when I was working in the corporate life, it just didn't make sense so much. Luckily, I was in touch with my feminine, and my soul was very wise to choose a job where I always had the flair of movement. I was always moving, and I was always working with people. So I think I should have said this in my introduction, but I think one thing that I have, one of my value and the most important value that I've always been connected to is that I love people. I really do. I love people so much that when I didn't know what to do with it, I was always like, I just want to give a hug to everyone and make them feel better. I didn't know, because I was empath. Without knowing, I was feeling their pain. So I just wanted to make them feel better. So I did that a lot in 18 years of, was it 18 years? Yeah, 12 and 5. So that's 17 years of 17 years of working in this corporate, but still I was in customer service orientated jobs. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, and I hope you all feel my love. And I'm sending you so much love, hopefully through these messages. And when I do a healing, I will definitely send some more love. So yeah, I was very blessed that my soul chose these journeys. And one of the most important things that I learned through my work with, you know, I can say now 22 years of my work experience, which has been with people, that I learned that every human being on the planet is just looking for this one thing or two. Any guesses? And it's not money, by the way. Though we all should have money. That's another session. Should we do a money session sometime? Yeah, we all should be abundant. We all should have so much money. John, you're very close. Yes, I believe fulfillment is a nutshell of everything. Like you feel content, but I work with very high profile clients and, you know, customers and travelers, and in pretty much every walk of life, from a woman who lost everything and is traveling to Bangladesh, or from a housekeeper, or really every single profile. I couldn't have touched this level of, you know, human existence if I didn't do this job. And I realized everybody is simply looking for love and appreciation, acceptance, and that makes them feel accepted. So, and you know, and if we don't give that to ourselves, it's impossible to give it to anyone else. So I can tell you that I'm on that journey myself for, I don't know, 43 years, and I'm in more self-acceptance than I've ever been. And some days it's hard, and some days it's really hard to see, but you know, it's really a journey. And somebody said we can't pour from an empty cup, and this self-love is something that we have not been taught, and this is really our main journey. The main human journey, I believe, is to come into our full potential, into our power through self-love. And there's no other, exactly, worthiness. There's no other way to attain that. Because if we're not even whole and fully feeling and loving ourselves, there's nothing that we can pass on. We can try, and this is why relationships fail. Because we are two beggars, okay, with two empty bowls. Or maybe one has, so a man and a woman, let's go back to the man and woman example. So the man has one bowl and the woman has one bowl, and both have, like, you know, $5, $10, but they want the bowl full. So they want to take from him. She wants to take from him. He wants to take from her. And they both are fighting each other. And these are the emotions. These are the unhealed aspects of us. So if these bowls are empty of love, you're obviously gonna wanna take it from someone else. But if you can continuously go back to yourself, give that love to yourself, you come back to your partner with more love. And this has really been my experience lately a lot as well, that I have to constantly come back and fill myself to be able to give. In my life, in my work, in my relationship, in my relationships, there's lots of ships, you know. Family, other ships, you know, they wobble, they fall, they move. I do a lot with my hands, you know, my hands are very much in the feminine. So does that make sense for all of you? Now, I'm gonna show you how the dance works. We spoke about polarity, right? So what happens? Now, you are, let's say I am in my wounded feminine energy. So what will I attract? $100 question. Anybody answering? Yogesh, you're gonna answer? Didi?
Yeah,
John
the
is
wounded
very
masculine.
Absolutely. So if a woman is in the wounded feminine energy, she's going to attract a wounded masculine. Okay. If she herself is in her womb. Exactly. Yay. Good one. You're all listening. Yeah, I'm not talking to the walls or to the screen. I like how attentive you all are. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Isn't this like a very interesting topic? Because it applies to each one of us, right? And there's very, very little awareness. I don't think there's a book. Maybe I should write the book. No? What do you think, guys? Right? Because it has been my own practice and learning experience and sharing over the last 5 years or 6, actually 5 years. Yeah. When I first started to really deeply study and apply those. So it has been the journey. Yes, write the book, says John. Thank you. You're going to buy the first copy, John, all right? Okay, so if a man, for example, thank you, that's very kind of you. Stephanie's at the gym, that's dedication. So if a man, so by the way, very important to understand. So a woman is not only going to be in her feminine imbalance, she might have a masculine imbalance. Okay, I'm going to make it simple by giving you an example. All right. So let me take my example because this one I know, I worked on it for a while, so I can claim some mastery over this one. So, for example, my father, I had an incredible relationship with him. He was my everything. So for me, I should not have a masculine. I'm very, very strong in my masculine energy, and I took attributes. It also has gifts. So the gift of the masculine for the feminine is that she will be very confident, very well-spoken, extroverted. She will know her place in the world. She will be a visionary. She'll kind of have a mission. These are the masculine qualities. You see how it applies? Right? So these came to me as gifts from my father, and I just appreciated me so much. But please know that I'm coming from my heart and not from my ego. But it's a fact. It came to me as a gift from my father. Even in my worst days, people saw me, and when I spoke, they thought I was super confident. But inside, nobody knows. I'm not beautiful. I'm the ugliest girl on the planet. This drama was going on nonstop. But whenever I went to my jobs, I was always excelling. I was always chosen to speak, to teach, and I've always loved teaching. Like whatever job I did, I just love teaching. I have this way of grasping information, churning it, and then simplifying it. I love to simplify. So my mission is to simplify spirituality to people. And as you know, I've brought some spiritual nuggets, but really everything I'm saying is practical stuff, isn't it? Right? There's no woo-woo spirituality that I've brought into picture. And I've created a course, and I think that's going to be a book sometime soon when I have time. It's called Alchemy of Emotions. And this topic I'm so passionate about, and I would love you guys, if it makes sense, to join me. I'm going to turn it into a course as well, because I discovered through my research, experience, wisdom, and healing myself over the last 10 years and working with clients for 7 years, how emotions play a big role, how to transform them. There's this profound, I'm so in love with this gentleman. He's not here anymore, this soul. His name is Dr. David Hawkins, who did this study about emotions, and he created this chart where he has listed the emotions as per their frequency. Okay, so I took that study. When I understood that about 7 years ago, it came to me, and I worked with this in detail. And after last year, I created this course where I teach people how to work with and understand the frequencies of your emotions, where they hold space, and how to alchemize it. Okay, so that course is called Alchemy of Emotions, because most people, every single person who comes to me and I work with them, they don't know what to do with their emotions. They have zero idea what's going on. People say, what's your problem? I have stress. Okay, so what do you mean you have stress? I'm stressed. My mind is super stressed. Actually, the emotions, mind holds your thoughts. Mind doesn't hold your emotions. Your body holds your emotions. So it's the feminine. So then, especially men, okay? So then I sat him down on this beautiful green chair and I said, okay, so I understand you're stressed. So what exactly are you feeling? Oh, no, I don't know about feeling, but I'm thinking a lot about my work. Okay. And my wife is unhappy with me. Okay. And I'm feeling like nobody, so then he starts to go to feelings, and nobody respects me. Okay, so you're feeling unvalued. Okay, and I can't give enough time to my family. Okay, so you're feeling guilt. So what I start to do is they're giving expressions, and I start to give them the words, the emotions that are actually underlayered. Okay, so this man and these men, they don't know, and so many women as well, they don't know how to even express their emotions because they don't know how to feel. But the emotion is going on in the body, so they stop it there. Did we have a breakthrough, John? Yeah. I saw you clap. So I'm like, so
I am completely on target with you. I understand exactly what you're saying. I'm just completely eye to eye with you. It's perfect. I love what I'm hearing right now.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So this is why these two topics I am extremely passionate about. I can go on for days, you know. Sip of water would be good. So this is what polarity does. Okay, now quickly I want to take you to understand that a woman might be in her wounded feminine energy, or she might have acquired wounded masculine energy. So most women, when they are wounded in the feminine, what they do is what I did. Okay, my main wound actually was mother wound, but when I lost my father, okay, I acquired this wound of abandonment, which I discovered 20 years later. Obviously I had no idea. So which I was receiving partners. When I went into a relationship, I would expect them to be my dad, like take care of me, nurture me. I was so needy. I was, you know, because I was missing my father. I wanted him to be my father. I wanted them, and it was never working. And the second a man feels a needy woman, they run. So all my partners would run and leave me. So my experience would be, everybody leaves me. Oh, everybody, all men suck, they all leave me. And it kept happening and happening and happening. And I was like, what's wrong with me? I mean, look at this. How can you leave this? After I gained some, you know, I empowered the feminine. I was like, are you kidding me? You're leaving this? Like, how could you leave this? Right? And then I discovered that actually I was just repeating that feeling of abandonment that was inside of me from losing my dad in such intense situation that I never got a moment to cry. I literally walked out the door that day. I will never forget, 11th of June. And I said, this is it. I'm my dad. I need to take care of my family and make my family survive. What energy did I step in? Masculine. There was no time for, because I'm a very creative person. I'm a super creative person. I love art, dance, color, paint, sing, oh, you name it. I didn't have time to touch the paintbrush anymore for 20 years. So my feminine energy got constricted. Right? So and obviously this is my journey because I was supposed to have this in-depth knowledge so that I can actually, you know, share. So I lived it viscerally in my body. So I know I experienced the wounded feminine and the wounded masculine. Hopefully, you know, you're not so well, I don't want to say unlucky, but hopefully you've not chosen such a difficult journey and you only have one, but most people have in traces one or another. So a woman might have wounded feminine energy, and because of that, what she does is she emasculates. Okay, so she's not in connection with her feminine energy. She gets up and becomes the man. Do you understand? So she operates from over masculine energy, emasculation of her energy, while the feminine energy sits there and craves to flow for attention, for love, for nurture. And then this is why there are men who say, my wife is so controlling. Work on her feminine energy and balance the masculine. You know, I'm sure wives can be very, very controlling. I don't think I can be a controlling wife. I'll be the doll wife, but yeah. So same goes with men. Okay, how does this apply to men? So let's say a man who had his need again from the father was to receive guidance, support, ambition, right? He had to be the mentor. Now, if that man was missing and could not provide for his son, the son will grow in wounded masculine energy. Why? Because he did not receive that as mentorship. He doesn't know what a healthy masculine is, right? So he will develop the wounded masculine energy, which is where he doesn't know what it is to be masculine. So he's going to show control, exert, do all of those aggressive things to show that, yeah, I'm masculine, I am the one. At the same time, he might be more into feminine energy because that's the support perhaps he received from the mother. So he did not have the balance of the masculine energy. So for survival, kids have to manage themselves, right? Kids take on. So what he did was, it felt safe for him to be in the feminine, to be more loving, to be more soft, to be more subtle. Let's say he had a very controlling, very abusive father. Then he goes into his feminine, right? To counterbalance. Because as a kid, he couldn't fight or couldn't be his father. He doesn't want to be like his father. So what he instead does, he becomes like his mother. He becomes very soft, very, very introverted, very feminine, very into his feelings, very into his sensitivity, very into his flow, cannot have structure. Do you see? So this is how both these wound energies can manifest in a man and a woman, and they apply very different. Right? So I think I covered the big topic, and I want to hear from you guys if it makes sense while I drink a little bit of water. And I'm going to assign the masculine. So Yogesh, how are we on time?
We're almost out of time. So I want to open. It's been an hour, 25 minutes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but you know, you were in full energy, so I didn't want to stop you. I could see the passion all coming out, and I could see everybody was so engaged. So, and it's a very important topic, right? This is a very important topic. I could see on some of the faces who have cameras open, you know, they had their aha moments and a lot. And I know there's a lot of questions, but before we get to that, Meetu, how much more do we have left to cover?
Well, I'm covered with this topic. Okay, and now I'm gonna say, okay, so this is defining the problem basically, right? But we need the solution, right? So I've explained to you how this issue applies. Now, the most important thing is to understand, first, number one, as I always say, awareness, I believe, heals up to 50–60%. 50% of healing is just awareness, because once we become aware, we can't go unconscious. Right? So if you are aware that you have an imbalance in your feminine or masculine energy, then you know, okay, oh, this is what I'm doing. Now you have awareness, right? So that's 50%. Once you're aware, then you need to take, you need to do some work around it. So if you're out of balance in your feminine or masculine energy, you need to go and do some digging and understand where does it come from. Either work on yourself, read about it, work with a healer, work with a coach, whatever suits you, right? There's enough tools now, right? If we start, like I always say, once the student is ready, the teacher appears. And the other way around is also true. So when the teacher is ready, the students appear. Right? So we have so much information going on, we can always find. So I would invite each and every single one of you to look at your mother-father relationship, because that's the core of everything. And that's what creates the inner child imbalance. So if we go down and work with the traumas that we have taken, knowingly or unknowingly, most of the times unknowingly actually, and that's what creates the subconscious beliefs, then we can heal our mother and father wound. And that's the pathway to follow. Once you do that, then there is integration. There are tools and techniques to, for example, embody more masculine. So if you're, for example, a more feminine man, you need to do some masculine activities to get in the fiery masculine energy. So heavy workouts, meditation, for example, is about the mind, stillness. So this is masculine energy. Right? There are like music, like drumming. So practices that strengthen the masculine side of you. One very important thing that I want to bring to all men and to all women, men, you need to hang out with men. You need to have a brotherhood. You need to be able to talk, share, have a group of men for yourself. It's very important because that's where you get to connect with your masculine energy. Right? And women, we need to have sisterhood. We need to have women circles. We need to connect with women because that honors your feminine energy. And when you are aligned with your masculine and your feminine energy, then you come together with your partners and it flows again. Right? So this is something very, very important. And I want to talk more and more about this to everyone because we need to do this. And this is why if you go to traditional environments, you know, especially I see it in the Arab world, in India as well, men would go out together. Men would have their sitting together. Women would have their sitting, like they're cooking or doing whatever, right? These traditional roles and rules had some reasons. Right? So this is also a very good way. For feminine, I would suggest doing feminine embodiment practices, creativity. Dancing is a very, very, very important, powerful thing. And now I see women only doing weights, only doing structured yoga. Even yoga is all structure. If you want to connect with your feminine energy, you need to go out of the structure. You need to be playful. Yeah, I forgot to mention playfulness is a very feminine quality. Again, if you have tips for the women, and tips for the men. If you have a very playful woman, right? You love her. You can't leave her. If she's cheeky, if she's naughty, if she's playful, she knows how to use her body. She knows how to use her, you know, her everything. That's every man's dream woman. Am I right, guys? That's every man's. You don't want and my boss is in my house. Nobody wants a boss in the house. Right? So understanding these roles is very, very important. You know, I can be a CEO. I'm a CEO of my work. But when I have to go meet my partner, I wear my sexy dress. I wear my feminine. I say, okay, let me finish my work. And then I'm going to step into, because that's who I want to be. I want to be in my receptive energy. I don't want to dictate. I don't want to rule. I don't want to tell him what to do. I don't want to, you know, give him a life plan. That is his job. Do it. I'm doing mine. Mine is to receive. Thank you. And when you come with that kind of playfulness, this charm, a man is disarmed. It's like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? Who is this woman? Right? So I have a course for women. If you know women who need this, how to, I have two actually. And yes, men can also be playful because, you know, we've gotten too serious in our lives, right? Everybody loves a funny guy. We've gotten too serious. Like if he's playful, if he's funny, you don't have to be the best comedian on the planet. You can do little things and you can bring joy to your partner, to your family, to your loved ones, right? It's some silly things. I think silliest things are the funniest things, right? But too many people are too serious. Like I think Sadhguru says this. Yeah, Sadhguru says this. I love it. He says, too many people are dead serious. You know, they're dead already. They're too serious, they're dead already. And I really, joy has to be there. Joy, and we cultivate these emotions, we cultivate these frequencies. It doesn't come by, by divine intervention. We have to create those. We have to, in our relationships, in our love, in our work, in our dynamics, we need to create those, and we have the power. And woman is gifted to be able to create those emotions. And she can disarm a very masculine, tough man with her sensuality. I forgot to mention sensuality is another feminine quality. Sensuality, playfulness, if you have kids, if you're partnered up, you have to schedule, date timings and playful time with your partner. Because suddenly you step into this womanhood, in this motherhood, but the guy feels left alone, like, okay, what happened? Where did my lover go? So we women play these different roles. This is part of feminine embodiment, where you have to play those roles. You can be a mother, but you can't forget that you're a lover. So why do men end up cheating? Because the woman disconnects. She has disconnected from her sensuality. She has to keep him invited. She has to keep him, involved. Otherwise, he's going to find something somewhere else. So when women say, tell me, oh, my man is cheating. Okay, what are you not doing right? And I think we are living in times where we have to ask this question all the time, because we're becoming conscious. What am I not doing right? How am I inviting this experience in my life? Right? What in me is creating this situation or this person or this relationship? And when we can become, women stray when, yes, absolutely. I'm not it's not judgment towards men. It's happening for women as well. But when it goes to that level of cheating, or there's something very emotionally wrong at, you're not meeting each other's needs, and it's cheating comes last. Cheating doesn't happen like, oh, I love her so much, I'm gonna cheat. Right? So there are some deeper. Cheating is a very powerful topic. Actually, I don't take it lightly, because I believe the cheater hurts and the one who cheats also hurts. One who's cheated hurts, but the cheater also hurts. Actually, I've worked with some people who came to me and who said that they cheated on their partners and they were in such pain. So I don't judge the cheater and say, oh, he's a horrible. I understand both sides of the coin. So, okay. So shall we do a quick exercise, or we're out of time and you guys are like, get rid of this moment, man. Enough is enough.
No, we should do an exercise.
Okay. All right. So you all have a paper, and I know you all took notes. Okay. I want you to take this piece of paper and draw a line in the center. And now that I covered in such detail, you will actually guess, you'll get the game, but I usually play this game before sharing the whole concept. But, you're aware, guys and girls now, and men and women. Okay, so this is a personal exercise for you to understand which one are you in more, which energy are you in more. So it gives you a very, huge clarity. So I'm going to say the qualities, okay? And you just write that down, or you can, if it will take long. So maybe you can just tick mark. Okay, so the qualities that I'm going to say on the left side, you put a tick mark on the left, and the qualities that I'm going to say later, you put a tick mark on the right. Does that make sense, or I confused you all? Okay, so let's start with this. So we have men and women, right? Because like I said, remember, we have both qualities, right? So it's not a perfect one or perfect two. So the qualities that I'm going to read now, I would like you to mark on the right side of the page, and you don't even need to write, just put a tick for the word that I say, for example, right? So in the mind, if you're that person, you put a tick mark on your paper on the right side column. Okay. Always thoughtful in the thoughts, logical, very structured, very giving, great leader, or having leadership skills. Even women have that. Guidance, like you like to guide people, you like to lead. You're very very directional, like you know which direction you're going in, you need to know where you're going. Ambitious, okay. Controlling, aggressive. Remember, nobody's looking at your paper, huh? You're just being honest with yourself. Critical, abusive. So if you think you're abusive, slowly, just gently, nobody's looking, just put a tick mark. Yogesh, don't look at them now, okay? I know you told them all to keep their camera on so that you can spy. Unstable, competitive, confrontational, avoidance, all right? Now, let's go on to the left side, and I'm gonna tell you the qualities. So, very magnetic, like things come to you. Intuitive, charming, attracted to beauty or feeling beautiful, or attracted to beauty. John is feeling very beautiful. I like that. Absolutely. Connected to emotions and feelings, being sensitive, flow, so you like to go with the flow, you're a spontaneous person. Receiving, you're open to receive, so someone offers you something, you're, yeah, I'll take that, thank you, like a compliment. So John received the compliment very well, you see. I receive the compliments very well all the time. You're welcome. Okay, the rest of you, I'm not just because I can see him, so that's why I can communicate with him. I'm unable because I'm on my phone, I'm not on my laptop, so please forgive me, I'm not seeing all of you. I can just see 4 of them, so that's why I'm able to interact with them. Next time I'm gonna be able to put it on my laptop, hopefully. Technology, masculine, please forgive me, yeah. Technology, yeah. All right, so following. So you like to follow, you don't like to lead, right? You like to be guided. Nurture, love, kindness, creativity. Cooking, by the way. Cooking is a very feminine quality, you know, and it's very healing for the feminine. And we live in cities where women don't cook at all. And it's actually a feminine practice that keeps women connected to the feminine energy. Okay, neediness, feeling like a victim, feeling like to get things done, you need to manipulate emotionally, mentally. Controlling, you like to control things, situations, partner, kids. Okay, codependence, meaning you can't function on your own, you have to have someone, you need people to do things, feeling very extreme levels of that. Oversensitive, over emotional, feeling of powerlessness, feeling lonely, sensuality, playfulness. Feeling sexual. Actually, sexuality is a feminine energy, by the way. Contrary to what people would think that a man is very sexual, actually it's a feminine quality. Women are more sexual by creation, by design. Crazy how far we've gone from our natural instincts, isn't it? Okay, so now I want you all to count and look at your paper and see how many ticks you have on which side. So if you have more ticks on your right side, you're more in your masculine energy. And if you have more ticks on the left side of the paper, you are more in your feminine energy. You can see the assessment for yourself. I was a big, huge amount of both. So what are you saying, Stephanie? You have a balance? So if you have kind of, just count your ticks. If you have kind of similar, let's say 5 here, 5 there, 6 here, 7 there, it's kind of that ratio, then you're kind of, you manage well. You know how to balance. Bhavna says 21 on the left and 6 on the right. Amazing. So you're much in the feminine, but do you think you're overly feminine and it's hard for you to do the masculine tasks? You see, so that's another kind of imbalance, right? So you might be having a hard time structuring things, taking control, taking charge, and you might suffer at work because of this. People take you for granted, you're unable to draw your boundaries. So that's over femininity. Right? So this is how it becomes very clear that there is a balance that needs to happen, because too much of anything is not good. That's why we have to come into balance and alignment. And that's why this topic is so powerful. And really, I think it's a breakthrough topic, and it has so many aha moments. What's your take, Yogesh?
More feminine energy.
John has 13 feminine. And how many masculine, John? Did I see that right?
Yeah, 13 feminine, 6 masculine. The rest were kind of in the middle. It's like sometimes I can be aggressive, sometimes I'm not aggressive. They were really down the middle, the rest of them, but clearly more feminine.
That's amazing. So his example is an amazing example, because straight away when I started the conversation, I mentioned that there will be some feminine men on this call. That just naturally. So this doesn't mean like, if I look at you and you never spoke, I know, wow, he's a very masculine guy, you know, right? So feminine, masculine energy has nothing to do with how we look, by the way, or how we dress or how we carry ourselves. It's the inner feminine, masculine, how we operate using these energies, what is inherent. So for example, you said, so you're a very sensitive soul. You know, you're very connected to your emotions, you're sensitive, and that comes from your mother, either a good relationship or not. I feel like you had a good relationship with your mother. Is that true? Yeah.
Very much so.
See, yeah, so see, that strengthens his feminine, but you did not have the ideal father connection. Am I right?
Well, there's kind of a whole story involved in that. I was adopted, so you know, my birth parents I don't know, but I'm close with both my parents. I always have been, my mother and father. But the vast majority of my friends growing up were girls. I've always been very comfortable with feeling the emotions, and as a men's empowerment coach, I understand that guys have a hard time not only admitting that they need help, but going out and asking for it and telling them that they need to be able to feel and experience their emotions. That's taboo. I don't use the word emotions with them. I just tell them that they need to find a balance, because what you were talking about, that we both have masculine and feminine, there's biology behind that. We both have testosterone and estrogen in our bodies. So, I mean, there's scientific proof that what you're saying is absolutely right. So, but having that breakthrough with the guy can be challenging sometimes, but I get it, because I'm a guy, but I have so many female friends. I'm cool with the balance now. I'm comfortable with it now. I wasn't for a long time.
Amazing. Amazing. So I hope that this study kind of helps you. And I think as it will dawn, because I shared a lot, as you will process the information, you will notice that somewhere maybe you could do a bit better if you step more into your masculine, because this will also help you because now you're in a leadership role. So strengthening your own masculine energy, right, will give the men and your clients who are coming to you that example, that mentorship, because they're coming to you because they're looking for their masculine strengthening and understanding, and you know, and the father understanding that they didn't have, or the mother nurture that they didn't receive. So that creates that imbalance. So you balancing that.
And thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything you gave today. Sincerely appreciate it, honestly. And Yogesh, my only other question is, when are you bringing meetu back for the second part of this? Because we need more.
Definitely, definitely.
So does anyone else want to share really quickly your results, and like what did you experience? And we've lost our Q&A, but I don't mind to, wow, it's going to be 2 hours actually. But yeah, if you have, you know, why leave it? If you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. What is that okay with you, Yogesh?
Oh yeah, it's fine with me. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead, please.
Somebody else shared, let me see how the comments, I don't know how to see the comments here. Can you read?
There's a lot. I'll just see if I can find a question for you. I think
question, or even the sharing of how many on the left, how many on the right, then I can, you know, kind of give them an overview of where the imbalance is.
Nicholas had 19 on the left, 12 on the right.
Okay, so more obviously, and so needs to work on the masculine energy.
Grace had 12 on the left, 13 on the right.
So Grace is pretty much very balanced. How do you feel about that, Grace? Are you a very balanced in your feminine masculine energy person? Or do you think there's
okay, okay, can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you so much. It's so sad I'm not able to put on my camera. I usually put on my camera, but I'm in a place where there's a lot of distractions, so I won't be able to put on my camera. But I am so, in fact, I got too many ahas that I cannot even start mentioning. So I have a question. Thank you so much, Yogesh, for inviting me to thank you for sharing so much knowledge. And I put in the comment area that I actually went for a course, you know, feminine energy and all of that. But I can totally say that this is by far the best lecture, for lack of a better word, that I've received, you know, with regards to polarity and, you know, feminine and masculine energy. So thank you so much. So I have a question, and I think, yes, I think after the class, I became very conscious. So I think that's why I have a bit of a balance. I became conscious and I became very deliberate. Before, I was too I was more on the masculine. I never liked to receive things out. If someone took me out for a date, I have my money, I'm ready to spend. If I have something wrong with my car, I'm going to fix it. I don't know if it's my background, but I want to fix it. I want to fix that. I'm always, you know, doing things for myself. I don't want to feel needy or not capable of doing. So I then realized that, you know, if somebody tries to give me a gift, I'm always no, I don't need it. I don't want you to think you've got me. I always like to buy things for myself. And then I realized that, look, you are feminine, you're a woman. There's some things you should just allow, you know, allow things. So I became very conscious. It was a struggle if someone, you know, like unlike before, if you're going to give me something, I'm so receiving it with all my heart. Like I am now more receptive, and then I'm very easy with other things. Like I'm very ambitious. I'm very, all the things that you can more of the masculine. I think I used to have, and just like you explained it, it has to do with my relationship with my dad. Very close relationship, and he's a soldier, is military man, so he sort of trained me and all of that. So yes, I've been able to manage it, but I really want to be more on my feminine side. I don't know what to do about that. And yes, one question really. I have a family member that's always complaining in her relationship, her marriage, that her husband is not doing anything. And we know, because she's very controlling, and she's like a perfectionist. Nobody does anything for her. So right now it's affecting her marriage. What can she do, to be able to get, a balance, because it is really, really telling on her on her relationship with her husband. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Wonderful question, and very, very common issue that I observe with people. So look what has happened. Now you have the whole lecture. That's a good word, actually, Grace. And thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for your kind words and receiving me so well. So yeah, this is a very common problem. So you see how it goes back to, she is emasculated. So she has become the man of the house, right? She's very controlling. When you say she's doing everything masculine, now this poor guy, right? He doesn't know how to be masculine. He doesn't, whatever he does is not good enough. So the polarity is now playing. He's gone into his shell in the feminine. His ego is crushed. And a healthy amount of ego is very, very important for a man or a woman, because it's our self-identity. And ego in spirituality is so shamed, and I have a completely different concept, which is another class, by the way. So let's stick to this one here. So please understand that ego is nothing to be shamed. Ego is our self-identity, right? And if you are in balance and harmony, you need to have a healthy basic understanding of who you are, otherwise you get thrown away. So this man has been thrown away into his feminine. So for this woman, if she wants to work on this relationship, she needs to start shifting herself. And first of all, understand that there's a problem. Understand, become aware, what is this dynamic playing, right? To understand that the man needs some respect. I mean, traditionally we hear boost the guy's ego. I mean, come on, you have to do that as a woman. If you're the man, you've lost him. You have. So for her, it would be important to first understand, become aware, and work on her feminine energy and let go. And again, I'll tell you, what is control? Control is coming from fear. Goes back to my course, Alchemy of Emotions. So basically, she needs to learn, and she needs to take a step back and work on her feminine energy. When she goes into her feminine, he will start to move into his masculine, because that's the dance. Right? In this relationship, he cannot, either there will be a lot of fight and aggression if is a strong masculine, because now two men are fighting, two bulls fighting. That's what happens. That's why. But because she's too much in her masculine, he has emasculate and he's gone into his feminine. So it's not working out. And one of the things I must tell you all, polarity is the key to an incredible sex life. You will not have a sex life if there is no polarity. Partners who have incredible sexual attraction is based on polarity. So a man will only be attracted to the woman, to his wife, to his partner, if she's in the, feminine. And it can be contrary. If the man is very, very feminine, nothing wrong with that, and the woman is masculine, then there is still polarity. They will still manage to connect intimately, because there's opposite energies. Remember, we are magnets. Man and woman is not the same. We are north and south of the magnet. My dad used to always say, we are two sides of the same coin. So we have to appreciate, honor our differences and bring them together. Does that answer your question, Grace? She should be on this call and I would be able to help. Or if she's really wants to help, I do my session from Zoom. I can do a coaching guidance healing session, and I'm happy to.
Yes, I'll get her to connect with you. She's not really an online person, but I would speak to her and see how she can connect with you. Thank you so much.
Share what you learned today and see how it opens up. Right? That's the first step. I mean, I love you so much, because if I share this information with 10, at least, because I share with so much passion, at least they go and talk to one person, and that's already 20 people. So I believe in the power of that ripple effect.
Me too. I think Stephanie has a question. She's raised her hand.
All right, Stephanie, go on, please.
Yes, hi, me too. So, thank you so much for being here. You have been absolutely amazing. I appreciate it. But I did want to pop on real quick. I am at the gym, and are you able to share the document that because I'm literally sitting here going, yep, nope, and I felt like I was a huge balance of all of the category or the statements. Can you share that list with us, please?
Yeah, absolutely, no problem. Awesome. I can send it.
Thank you.
I don't know how to do it on the chat, but also you guys can follow me if you're on Instagram, Heal with meetu. That's my Instagram handle, and I'm posting all of these things as well. And if you just DM me, I'll send it through to you there, or you can connect with me in I don't know how else. How else, Yogesh?
You're on my BU community Facebook group, right? So we can share the list over there. Yeah, we'll share the list on the group. I mean the Facebook group, so that everyone can have a look at it.
Great. Prakash, I think you mentioned how many points you had, didn't you?
I did. It was 14 left, 17 right. So there's more feminine than masculine.
Okay, so 14 feminine.
7.
And how many?
7 masculine.
Okay, so you're also more in your feminine energy, and you need to work on your masculine energy. And it's pretty counterintuitive. What I'm observing with humanity right now is that feminine are more in their masculine energy and men are more in their feminine energy. And that should explain to us that what kind of imbalance we have created. And this is why relationships are a struggle, because the original DNA programming is, no matter what, the woman does want to have a masculine man. She wants him to lead. She's not going to tell you, she's going to expect that from you. That's another topic. But this is how we have, this is our DNA. This is how we're structured. We're made this way. So we do need to go find ourselves in balance. And, there's just so many ways. So this is the sharing of the information, that there's many practices to work on both our masculine and feminine energies for men and women.
Sean, I see you have a question. Let's make it the last question for the day.
Okay, yeah, real quick. Me too. Again, thank you for everything. But you had mentioned earlier that we went from the Piscean age, and this year we're officially into the Aquarian age. And do you think now that we're there, that we're going to get back into like education of self-love and self-respect and all, because that had been taken away? Do you think we're going to find that coming back into the equation now?
Great question. I love it. You know what I always say when I teach about self-love? I say, I'm going to open my own school and call it self-love school, because everybody needs to learn about self-love. Every single human being needs to learn about feminine, masculine energy and self-love. So to answer your question, John, I think it's already happening. What we are doing right now is actually a step towards our self-love, because if we understand and master this device, which is a brilliant, supercomputer created by God, we don't need to create stupid AIs, sorry, but, then we are already going into, so the age definitely is coming of, and we can only come into self-love if we become more aware, if we raise our consciousness, if we see that there is something wrong. So self-love is the top of is top of everything. And definitely we're already, I'm seeing that so much on the planet. I'll give a quick example. Actually, on Valentine's Day, I saw in Dubai, for example, maybe 5 or 10 years ago, there would be so many events with, you know, romantic couples and all of those things. But this year and even last year, I noticed all over Dubai, we saw there were so many events and they were all talking about self-love. So on this Valentine's Day, you know, come to a self-love workshop or meditation or do this or that. And it was all about self-love, actually. And I was very, 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 very thrilled and happy to hear that, because if we can't love ourselves fully, we can't love anyone. So that's definitely the journey.
Thank you so much. Thank you for everything.
My pleasure. Thank you, John.
Thank you for the questions, everyone. I think this is the longest session we've ever had, and I know we can keep going for hours and hours, but I think we should give our speaker a break so that we give her time to come back for another episode on another topic in the future. First of all, I really want to thank you, Meetu. I know it's a Friday. Friday is a holiday in Dubai. It's a day you should be going out, but you took your time out to come and speak over here. So thank you very much. Very important topic. I'll give you my big aha is I think I had 17 ticks on the left and 7 on the right. And the big aha for me was when you said, if you have any problems on the right side of your body, that means it's imbalanced. I tore my muscle on my knee 3 years ago on the right side, and I've had a frozen shoulder for the last 1.5 years. So I know I'm imbalanced on my masculine energy right now. So that was the biggest aha for me today. And thank you for everyone for showing up and staying this long. I think it was one of the best sessions we've ever had. And we look forward to Meetu coming back. Thank you everyone to come for this episode. And I look forward to see you guys again next Friday in the next episode of BU Community. If you're not on the Facebook group, please reach out to me and I will add you to the group, and I will add Meetu's list over there. Once again, thank you, Meetu. We'll see everybody next Friday. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone. Meetu, just stay.
I want to say thank you to you.
Meetu, just stay back. Yeah, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking me if I have a website or a contact info. So I don't have a website yet, but I'm quite active. All my work I share through Instagram. So, or you can also connect with me if you like on WhatsApp, if you directly want to connect. But Instagram is where I'm most active. In case you're not on Instagram, please feel free to reach out personally.
Stephanie, I've tagged her on Facebook, so maybe you can send her a message on Messenger and get her contact and details from her. Okay, everyone, see you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for your receptivity and receiving it so well. It was truly an honor, very, very engaging. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Just give me a second, yeah?
Mm-hmm.